Leo's biggest weakness in my opinion is that he's pretty much still playing Tekken 7. He doesn't benefit much from the Tekken 8 systems. He doesn't have good chip damage options. His heat is pretty trash. He only gains access to his install and his heat smashes. His install, well, you're adding 10 damage to your health sweep, but it's launch punishable. Like, do you want to go into heat and do launch punishable shit? I don't think so. And it's taking most of your heat meter if you do this, like it's already gone. And the other options are alright. I think this is the best one, but like you're taking a string that's already safe at -1 and you're adding some damage to it, and on block it's +1 now, so it's 2 frames of a difference on a high. And like the biggest joke is that the mid is -13 on block. Like, why the fuck is this not safe like any other character? That's all he's getting, and this is a high, this can be ducked, and this is obviously launch punishable. So in my opinion, he doesn't gain shit from heat. You can be obnoxious with this, but that's not something that you always want to do. And there are other characters that do this much better. His heat smashes are pretty good because they do wall splat, the low heat smash, also balcony breaks, wall breaks and all that stuff for a full combo, so that's great. The heat smashes are good, can't complain. Not the best, but I think they are good. But the other thing is that you also have very little agency over your heat. What I mean by that is that like the best way to enter heat is with his low 11 frame punisher, and this is something that you have little control over because you're going to just punish a low when you actually block a low, and you will randomly pretty much enter heat. Not when you're like looking for heat with a move like 442. I think this should have been a heat engager, like all the demon paws, but it's not. So he has heat engagers as a 14 frame punisher, as an 11 frame while standing punisher, this useless move, and like this useless move. So these aren't great. The best heat engager is down back 2, but you know, you have to run up and do this, hit confirm it. That's like the best way to enter heat in my opinion, is this one. But you know, there are some risks doing that, and most of the time you will be entering heat by punishment, which is mostly out of your control. And sometimes you don't actually want to go into heat as early as possible. Generally, I would say take heat whenever you can, but with something like this, there's a good chance your opponent is just going to go into heat after you go into heat, which means he's going to recover all the gray health that your heat is going to cause. So it's not always the best. So that's what I mean with little agency over your heat. And again, his heat is kind of shit. To begin with, it's not that impressive. He's missing the safe mids. His power crush is also kind of shit. You're not playing the Tekken 8 bullshit game that so many other characters are, and that makes it, well, much harder to win with Leo. Another weakness is that your jabs are kind of bad. Your 10 frame puts you into a bad spot. Talked about this in the punishment section. This change to 1-4, putting you into K&K stance, is the root for 2 major weaknesses that Leo has right now, in my opinion. That his 10 frame is bad and that his jabs are bad because of this. Now, the jabs are pretty important, and his while standing 4 by itself is also pretty bad. Now, it's a great punisher, don't get me wrong, but it came at a price, which is his single while standing 4. Does pathetic damage. It's only 8 damage. It has bad frames. It's -9 on block, so you can't move, and it's only +2 on hit if you don't do the second hit. So when you're playing small Tekken, as in fast, non-committal moves, you will have to use your single while standing 4 and jabs a lot. So again, this is an amazing punisher, but if you're constantly under pressure, fighting for every single frame, the while standing 4 that you have to use if you want to keep it safe, it's just going to be inferior because it's pathetic damage and it's -9 on block. You can't move afterwards. So this, combined with the fact that 1-4 is now unusable outside of punishment, we are now stuck with using 1-2, which only deals 15 damage. This is like as low as jabs get. And you're dealing with Wild Standing 4, which is 8 damage. This is like the lowest Wild Standing 4 can get. So pretty much your fastest moves that you're forced to use if you want to keep it safe are now like much less damage than other characters. And if you're playing small Tekken, this will add up. Another thing is that despite Leo having like all these amazing moves that put him at like a severe frame advantage, he's not good at utilizing these frames. For example, down forward 2+3, this move, you could say it's the best blow in the game. But Leo can't do anything at +5 crouching because his crouching game is like the worst I have ever seen. You're in crouch at +5, all your lows punishable, like these generic ones are also like super negative even on hits, and on block it's -17, -15. You do have the sweep, which is really good, but if you're in this position, your opponent has to look out for the sweep, and you could argue that it's reactable. Especially after this, you just have to look out for the sweep and that's it. There are no unreactable lows that are worth using, and there aren't like great mids either. So you're sitting there at +5, but you can't really mix your opponent up. So you do something like Wild Standing 1, because that's a frame trap, but there's like nothing scary about it. You could also do Wild Standing 2, but that's -13. So do you want to be +5 and then eating a -13 Punisher? I don't think so. Honestly, there's no reason for your opponent to duck. They're looking out for the sweep, but like even if they didn't respect your frames, there are just no good options to use in crouch, even at +5. Like you could do this if you think your opponent might actually attack. This is a counter hit strength, but it's kind of hard to hit confirm. The second hit is -10. It's a good strength, but it has its risks. Now, other characters that are in crouch at +5 can totally destroy you, but Leo can't. It's just not a scary position. The best thing for Leo at +5 in crouch is literally to crouch cancel. And as soon as you crouch cancel, you're giving up all your frame advantage. And that's an issue. Yeah, his crouching game is absolutely terrible, to the point that this situation would be crazy on other characters like Shaheen, but on Leo it's kind of like whatever. Like, what are you going to do with this? Nothing. Crouch cancel. His quick moves are lacking, he has a low Tekken 8 bullshit factor, and his tracking sucks. So what are his strengths? Leo is an all-round character with no execution barriers that can do pretty much everything. Weaknesses aside, he has all the Tekken tools a character could ask for. His lows are amazing, his slower mids are amazing as well, and he's generally very safe. So if you manage to gain momentum, you have great, low risk, high payoff options for both mids and lows. Leo can also be quite scary with walls nearby, and once stage hazards are in sight, it gets actually toxic, because he always gets a full combo if he hell sweeps you into a wall or hits you with either heat smash. I would also consider him a combo artist, and that's one of the main reasons I am having the most fun playing him. He has very flexible combos with good damage that can turn into insane damage if you adjust your combos for optimal wall carry without expanding your tornado. So make sure to check out the combo videos coming up next. This guide turned out to be way longer than expected. If you found anything helpful and would like to see more guides, please let me know what you would like to see me do differently so I can do better in the next one. Thanks.